football party. Our expert team breaks down the players and makes their predictions for the big game. From Studio One in New York, it's Katie.
Welcome back. Of course, that's heavy action from Monday Night Football, but today it's Friday afternoon football here on Katie. Usually at this time, we would do the week that was, but today we're talking about this weekend's main event. What is it, everybody? So good, aren't they? Our panelists today are Fox Sports lead sideline reporter Pam Oliver, ESPN columnist and essayist Rick Riley, and author of Girls Guide to Go, Football 101 and the Big Bowl Game, Alexis McCombs. Welcome. Okay. So our first topic is big game burr. You know, people are saying this might be the coldest Super Bowl in history. Rick, how's it going to affect the game?
Well, how's it going to affect me? I'm going to be sitting out in the stands. Actually, we hear it's not going to be that cold, and anything above 30 is fine for either team. For Peyton Manning, if it gets windy, he's throwing a lot of beach balls lately as he gets older, and so that would be bad, I think, if it was wind, but I don't think it'll affect him if there's not much wind. We hear it's going to be about 7 to 9 miles an hour. That's not bad.
And what's the temperature expected to be? I know it's going to be up to 47 during the day, but at night?
About 6:30. I think in the 30s.
Yeah.
So and it's not as bad as
it could be, right?
I was in a panic for weeks about this, given what everyone was saying about the weather. It's the end of the world as we know it. And so I sent these 2 suitcases, huge, of every sort of layer. People would send me things. They felt so sorry for me because I just can't get that weather right.
And Alexis, you know, I think the NFL's gotten a lot of flack for choosing, you know, to have the Super Bowl in such a cold climate, or where it could be potentially so cold, right?
Yeah, they have. But really what the NFL is about dollars and cents. So if you think about it, there's 111 million people across the globe that are actually watching the game. It's a very TV-oriented event. So for them, they're still going to make their $4 million for that 30-second commercial that you're watching. So at the bottom line, they're still going to make their money from the Super Bowl.
All right, the next topic is major wager. Not all the action, as we know, takes place inside the stadium. Last year, close to $99 million was wagered on the big game. People who put money on who will win or lose, but they also bet outside the box. What are some of the weirdest bets you've ever heard of, Rick?
So you can get 7 to 4 will Noshawn Marino cry during the national anthem, because he's famous for crying these huge tears. How many times Peyton Manning will say Omaha?
Omaha, Omaha.
Really?
And the over-under on that is 27.
But at least for that one, there's profit. It's going to charity.
Yes, it's going to charity. Will anybody on the Red Hot Chili Peppers take off their shirt?
So it's all these random things.
Right. Like,
It's interesting.
That won't happen because of the Janet Jackson thing. We all know. And then this is a weird one. Will Eli Manning throw a pick? It's possible. I don't know.
Meanwhile, the other bet, Pam, is who's going to be the first person to show up as a sideline reporter? Will it be Pam or Aaron Andrews? Is that annoying? Because I feel like they're pitting you two against each other.
They always do that. But I'm on the Seahawks sideline. But I'm competitive, so I will booby trap something. She will just, oh, you okay? But
you mean it matters who goes on first?
It really doesn't. It just kind of depends on if you want to go first. Do you go first?
Well, do you want to go
first? I'm the veteran, so I should go first.
All right, well, good luck on that on Sunday. And Alexis, is this a way to get non-football fans really kind of fired up about the game?
Yeah, I would definitely say get vested. So watch the game with friends, put a wager. I'm encouraging betting. Put a wager on it. I'm a big Cowboys fan, and a friend of mine is a Redskins fan, so if he lost the game, he had to wear a Cowboys jersey and wash my car. So if you do something like that, then you have something to root for.
Right, and it's just adds to the fun. All right, up next, Peyton's place in history. Broncos quarterback Peyton Manning playing this Super Bowl in his brother Eli's home stadium. So you've interviewed both the Manning brothers. So how do you think this is going to affect Peyton's game, Pam?
Well, they've talked about this. Eli's giving him pointers on wind direction and, you know, which tunnel is windier than the other. But they've helped each other. Peyton is he's a perfectionist, as much as you can be a perfectionist. So he's going to cover every little base.
Yeah, I think Peyton Manning is sort of the favorite, and sort of the sentimental favorite in this game. Because
if he wins, is he going to retire, Rick?
No, never.
No.
He lives for this.
He's going to drive that bus till the wheels fall off.
Right. I think everybody knows that Peyton's probably the better quarterback, but they know at Thanksgiving, Eli's got those 2 trophies, the Super Bowl rings, and he's only got 1. He's coming back from the 4 neck surgeries. We weren't even sure we were going to see him again. So I think I've seen polls where 64% of the country are pulling for Peyton to get another ring.
But let me ask you about Russell Wilson. It's his first Super Bowl, much younger, less experienced than Peyton. He said to, people are wondering without the 12th man, without the roaring crowd, how that will affect his game. What should we look for from him? Alexis?
Well, he's new to the scene in regards to being in the Super Bowl, so Peyton Manning definitely has an advantage over him in that regard. So it's just going to be a matter of how focused he's going to be. If he's going to be able to, step away from the distractions of the game and really focus on the end objective.
He hasn't played well lately. He hasn't had a game over 215 yards in his last 6. He hasn't thrown more than 1 touchdown in his last 6. He's a little cold, and meanwhile, Peyton Manning had 55 touchdowns. The kid Russell only had 26, and Peyton only had 10 interceptions, and Russell had 9.
But
so
the Seahawks have a very good defense. I don't know.
Yeah.
They have a very good defense, and I think what they're going to do with Russell is just sort of keep it simple.
All right, in closing, who's your pick?
I'm working the game, so I can't predict.
All right.
But I am on the Seahawks sideline.
Rick Riley?
Oh, did you get to pick your sideline?
Yes.
I like Denver, but if I had to give 3 points, I think I'd take the points.
Yeah. And Alexis, what about you?
I'm probably outnumbered here, but definitely Denver. I think Peyton has a chip on his shoulder for how things happened with the Colts last year. He's definitely going to want to pull this one off.
All right. Well, there you go. Pam, Rick, Alexis, have a great Super Bowl. Enjoy.
You just want to watch the commercials anyway.
No, that's not true. I want to watch the game, too. Sunday's a big game, but we're bringing the action right here when we come back. A Super Bowl trivia contest. That's right after this.